Morning friends. So in the yesterday's lecture we have seen what is a Freinet apparatus and we have solved some of the examples based on the Freinet apparatus. Right. So let us go for once again what we have seen. We have seen that T is equals to B dash where B is our unit, beta is a unit speed. What is the next formula? T dash is equals to K times N where K is a curvature and N is a normal. Okay. Next we have seen a formula for B is nothing but T cross N. Okay. What is the next formula? That will be depending upon your this rotation. B is equals to T cross N. I hope you have you remember this, that at every point of the curve this T and B forms a frame field. What is the meaning of a frame field? It will form a frame field meaning of they are perpendicular to each other and their norm is equals to 1. Okay. So they are perpendicular to each other. I have written it as a B is equals to T cross N. Correct? So if B is equal to T cross N, what I can write if I am knowing the box product? So can I write T is equals to N cross B? Okay. And the next thing I can write N is equals to B cross T. Okay. As it is a box product property, we can write these things. So we can write N is equals to B cross T. So hence, after differentiating this with respect to arc length, N dash is equals to. So as it is a cross product, we have to be very careful that it does not obey the commutative property. So hence we can write B dash and this T as it is. Correct? Plus what will be the next one? First we have to keep B as it is, then we have to take the derivative of T and plus T as it is. Sorry, B dash into derivative of T. Correct? So hence now we know the formula. What is T dash? T dash is K into N plus what is a B dash? B dash we know it is minus tau into N into cross product with T. Okay. So what will be the value of this thing? We have to calculate this. So let me write down. So this will be K outside as it is a scalar. We are considering this will be B cross N in this and minus as it is tau is with a negative sign. So we can write minus tau and here it is N cross T. Right. So hence now what will be B cross N? We have seen what is a rotation T and B. Okay. So here is T, N and B. So after T it will be N, after N it is B, after B it is T. So what will be T cross N? It is B. Correct? What will be B cross T? It is N. And N cross B it will be T. So now we have to see what will be B cross N. As it is a reverse order, I have to write down with a negative sign, that is minus K times it will be with T minus tau. What will be N cross T? So as it is again in the opposite direction, so N cross T will be minus of B. So this minus minus become plus. So what will be the formula for N dash is equals to 2B minus KT. This is another formula for our Freinet apparatus. Okay. So I hope you have understood. Now let me go for one more thing related to this. You must know, whenever you are going to calculate this, you must know this circle T and B. That means all these are in the rotation and we, with the help of a cross product property, we know that it is T and here N and here it is B. So after T it is N, after N it is B, after B it is T. Okay, this T is a tangent, N is a normal, B is a binormal. Okay, so what will be T cross N? It is B. B cross T, it is N. N cross B, it is T. Right? So let me have some few things. So here we have tangent, normal, and here it is binormal. So we have three types of a plane that we will name it as normal, rectifying, and oscillating plane. Okay. Normal plane will be a perpendicular to tangent. Okay, so this region we call it is a normal plane. Okay, next is rectifying plane. This rectifying plane will be perpendicular to N. this plane which is perpendicular to n is called a rectifying plane. And next is osculating plane which is perpendicular to binormal vector. Okay, so here we have osculating plane which is perpendicular to binormal. Okay, so in all, what are these plane? These are the plane which are combined by. So what will be normal plane which is generated by our these two vectors b and m, which is spanned by b and m. What is rectifying plane? It is spanned by t and b. What is osculating plane? Which is spanned by n and t. Okay, so remember this. These are simply definition we have provided. What is normal, oscillating, and rectifying plane? It may be for your MCQ that oscillating plane is spanned by n and t. What is a rectifying plane? It is spanned by b and t. Okay, so you must remember the sequence of those vector t and b. Okay, so now let me repeat whatever we have seen. What is t? T is will tell you that you are having t will be giving you the velocity of the curve. What will be a normal to the curve? Normal to the curve will show you the turning of the curve. What will be the binormal will give you how many twists are in the curve. And what will be tau? B dash is equals to minus tau into m. And is a normal vector. What will be b dash? It is rate of change of twisting, because b tells you the twisting. And what will be b dash? It will give you rate of change of twisting. Rate of change of twisting of the curve. So tau will give you the rate of twisting of the curve. Okay. So in all, if you are having the question like suppose you have a question, write a note on the Freinet apparatus. So at that time you must tell what is t, what is a formula for t, what it will tell you, what is n, what is a formula for n, what is curvature k, and it will give you a speed of the curve. So next you have to tell what is a binormal vector. It will give you twisting of the curve. Next you have to tell what is a torsion. It will give you the rate of twisting of the curve. That means it shows how sharply the curve is twisting out of the plane curvature. Okay, torsion measures the speed of rotation of a binormal curve at a point, and as a larger is a torsion, faster is the rotation of a binormal vector. Okay, that means just like if suppose there are more twists, then there will be more torsion, right? Suppose more is a torsion, so more is a twisting or moving of a binormal vector. Okay. So we have seen this. I hope you have solved the example that I have given you. Some of the students have sent me the pic of they have solved the example. So I also give you some example for the homework in the session of practical. But now let us go for Freinet approximation of the curve. Okay, we will see Freinet approximations of the curve. For this, what we have statement, derive the Freinet apparatus for beta nearest to the origin for the unit speed curve beta of s. Okay, unit speed curve beta. Okay, near the origin, the unit speed curve beta, let beta be the curve given to us from open interval I to E3 space. This is a curve beta given to us, so unit speed curve. So we have to find out the Freinet approximation near the origin, that is at s equals to 0. We have to find out the equation. Okay, Freinet apparatus. Okay, so let me first write down beta of 0. I hope everyone is remembering about the Taylor series. So let me write down the equation for beta of s in terms of Taylor series. What will be the equation? Beta of 0 plus s times beta dash of 0 plus s square by 2 factorial beta double dash of 0 plus s cube by 3 factorial beta triple dash of 0 and so on. Just like an equation which we have seen for a Taylor series. What is the equation for Taylor series for f of s? We are writing f of 0 plus s f dash of 0 plus s square by 2 factorial s dash of 0 and so on. So we are writing the equation in terms of beta. Okay, but we have to find out Frenet approximation of the curve. Now if you see this equation, after this term we will have beta of derivative of beta 4 times and all. Okay, now we have to find out the values of this beta dash, beta double dash and beta triple dash. Okay, after finding all those values we will put this in our equation. Okay. So as we are calculating all those values at s equals to 0, so let me have this beta dash of 0, we will call it is beta naught dash. So let me have what is a beta dash, we know that it is t, but we are calculating at s equals to 0, let me name it as t naught. So what will be beta dash of 0, t naught is equals to beta dash of 0, correct? So let me write down now formula for beta double dash. What will be beta double dash? It is t dash. So if we are calculating at 0, let me write down at t naught. So what is the formula for t naught? It is nothing but t dash is k into n. That is k naught into n naught. Okay, so we have got the formula for beta double dash. Now let me write down the formula for beta triple dash. So at s equal to 0. So let me write down the derivative of this term. K naught into n naught. As we are calculating at s equal to 0, so first we will calculate independently. So derivative of this term, it will be k dash n as it is plus n dash into k as it is. So what is the formula for n dash? Just now we have seen what is the formula for n dash is tau b minus kt. Okay, tau b minus kt into this k as it is. Okay, we have found those formula that we will use later on. So let me write down now formula k dash into n plus tau k into b minus k square into t. So this is what beta triple dash. Now let me put all those formulas in our equation that we have written with the help of a Taylor series. So finally we will write down equation beta of s is equals to beta of 0 plus s times beta dash of 0. What is the equation we have found? Beta dash of 0. Our beta dash is nothing but our torsion and we are calculating at s equal to 0. So we will write down at t naught plus what is the formula next? S square by 2 factorial t dash. What is the formula for t dash? It is t k into n. K naught into n naught plus s cube by 3 factorial into what was the formula we have obtained? It is we will write down here it is k dash naught n naught plus tau naught b naught k naught minus k naught square into t naught and plus so on. Correct? So if beta is a Frenet apparatus, of a curve near s equal to 0, then we can write this equation. Okay. So if suppose let me write down now whatever the formula we have obtained. If suppose we are assuming that s is very small, if we are assuming that s is very small, so what we have formula obtained beta of s is equal to, what is the formula we have written? We have written the formula beta of s is equals to beta of 0 plus s times beta dash is nothing but t naught plus s square by 2 factorial into k naught into n naught plus s cube by 3 factorial into whatever the formula we have obtained for beta triple dash. Now let us go one by one cases. That means if suppose we are assuming that s is very small, so at that time if s is very small, what will be the formula for s square? It will be very smaller. So we can if s is very small, so we can write beta of s is equal to simply b naught, that is plus s into t naught. So next term we can neglect. So if suppose s is somewhat bigger as compared to initial one, so we can have beta of s is equal to, we can write the three terms p naught plus s t naught plus s square by 2 factorial into k naught into n naught. Okay. So this will be just like our equation of a straight line. Okay. If suppose s is very small, this will be just like an equation of a straight line which is in terms of s. So this will be just like a parabola as it is a square, just like a parabola, not a parabola. So the third one will be the whole things. Now we can say if this will be a third one. Okay. So if power of s is up to second order retained, then we can write the equation, which is a quadratic approximation of a curve. And what is this? This is a linear approximation. So this is a quadratic approximation. Okay. So this will be just like a parabola. So this is what a Fresnel approximation of a curve. Okay. What we have done in this very simple thing, we have done what we first we have written the formula for a Taylor series in terms of beta of s. We have written the formula for beta of s by using a Taylor series. After writing this, just we have found the values of beta dash, beta double dash, beta triple dash, and then at s equal to 0, we have written all those values. And after putting in the equation, we will get the Taylor series of beta of s in terms of s. And after writing this, we have to now next thing we have to find out what will happen if s is very small. If s is very small, we will get a equation of a straight line. Now, if suppose as we have taken up to second order, so this will be a quadratic approximation of a curve. Okay. So let us go for the next theorem. If beta is a unit speed curve in E3 with k greater than 0, what is a statement of theorem? If beta is a unit speed curve, what is the meaning of unit speed? Norm of beta dash should be equal to 1. With k greater than 0, then k greater than 0, then what is a then? Prove that beta is a plane curve if and only if tau is equals to 0. Then prove that beta is a plane curve if and only if beta is a plane curve if and only if tau is equals to 0. Now when we have a question, what is a plane curve? The curve which lies in the plane is called a plane curve. If suppose a curve is lying in the plane, it must satisfy the equation of a plane. So as we have to prove this in if and only part, so we have to prove in the two parts. First we have to assume that beta is a plane curve. We have to prove that tau is equals to 0. In the next step we have to assume tau is equals to 0. Then we have to prove that beta is a plane curve. Okay. So let us start with the first one. Let us assume that beta is a plane curve and we have to prove that tau is equals to 0. Okay. Let us assume beta is a plane curve. Now if beta is a plane curve, we must know that it must satisfy the equation of a curve. Okay. Beta is a plane curve means what? The beta is a curve which lies in the plane. Now let us have an equation of a plane. Right. We have some plane. So in which what we have, suppose we take some points P and Q. Suppose this is a point P. So this Q will be a normal to the plane, and this is a point P on the curve on the plane. So this suppose beta is a curve here in the plane. Okay, if beta is a curve in the plane, so at every point we can find out the tangent, normal, and this is a binormal. Okay, so at every point of the curve we can find out a tangent, normal, and binormal. At every point of the curve we can find out the three mutually orthogonal unit vectors, that is tangent, normal, and binormal. We have taken any point P on the plane curve. This Q is a normal to the plane as well as it will be normal to the curve. Why it is normal to the curve? Because if it is normal to the plane, obviously it must be normal to each and everything on the plane. Okay. Now what we have to show, tau is equals to 0. Now if beta is a plane curve, it must satisfy the equation of a plane. It must satisfy the equation of a plane means what? If you remember, we have solved, we have seen the how to find out the equation of a plane in the basic part. Okay. How to find out the equation of a plane? We have taken a normal to the plane and the equation of a plane, and the dot product should be equal to 0. Okay, tangent into normal equal to 0. Those who remember, we have written an equation. So after writing the equation, we have found that which is ax plus by plus cz plus some constant we have obtained. Those constant we have named it as d, and hence we have got the equation of a plane. Okay, so those who don't remember, just go back in the basic lecture where we can see how to obtain the equation of a plane. Now if you remember this figure, let me write down what is this beta of s minus beta of 0, or instead of writing beta of 0 I can write this. If suppose this curve is lying in the plane, it must satisfy the equation of a plane. As it is a curve passing through the point P, I can write this into this normal, it should be equal to 0. I am saying once again, you have to go through the basic for understanding this equation. How I have written this equation, because if beta is a plane curve, that means if beta is a curve lying in the plane, it must satisfy the equation of a plane. So this equation of a plane we have obtained by using our things that we have studied in the basic part. Okay, this is normal to the curve, this is equation. The dot product should be equal to 0. Those who have remembered, we have written this is ax plus by plus cz plus some terms we have obtained with ax naught plus bx naught and so on. That terms we have named it as d, and that we have obtained the equation of a plane. Okay, so let me find out the derivative of this. This will be beta dash of s into q is equal to 0. What is a beta dash? It is p into q is equals to 0. P into q is equals to 0. What is the meaning of this equation? Let me have this equation. Let us write down this equation here. P into q is equals to 0. Okay. So let us differentiate this equation once again. What we get, t dash into q plus, as q is simply 1 point, derivative of q dash will be 0. So no need to write down. Directly we can write t dash into q is equal to 0. P and q are any 2 points. No? Q is also 1 point. So hence we can, q is a normal, but it will have some coordinates. No? Normal to the plane, but it will have some coordinates. So derivative of coordinate will be 0. So t dash into q is equal to 0. What is the formula for t dash? K into n is equal, k into n into q is equals to 0. As k is a scalar, what is n into q is equals to 0, right? I can say k is not equal to 0. Why? Because in the statement itself we are provided that the curvature k is greater than 0. So hence from this step I can write this. K into n into q is equal to 0. If k is not equal to 0, what should be the next thing? N into q should be equal to 0. So we have obtained the two equations. This is second one, this is first one. So what you can see from this equation, k into q is equal to 0 as well as n into q is equals to 0. So it means that this q is perpendicular to n as well as q is perpendicular to t. So what will be the position of a q? Okay, q is a one vector which is perpendicular to both t as well as n. Okay. So if you remember, we have T and B forming a frame field. So what we have obtained, q is a vector which is perpendicular to n as well as t. So what should be the direction of q? Q should be in the direction of a b. So q must be scalar multiple of b. So hence we can write b is equals to a into q. Okay, so if q is in the direction of b, we can write it is some scalar multiple of b. Okay, so after taking the norm on both sides, what I get, norm of b should be equal to norm of a into norm of q. As we know that norm of b is equals to 1. So as a is a scalar, we can say modulus of a is equals to 1 upon norm of q. Okay, we have obtained this one. So okay, now if I remove the modulus, what I get, a is equals to 1 upon norm of q with the positive or negative sign. Okay. So after substituting in our own this equation, what I get, a formula for b is equals to q upon norm of q. So if you see, b is a with the unique norm. So if you take a norm on both sides, norm of q upon norm of q will be equal to 1. As a value of a, we have taken a positive one. Okay. What we have done, we have obtained q is a vector which is perpendicular to n as well as q is a vector which is perpendicular to t. So what must be a direction of q? It must be in the direction of b. So if it is in the direction of b, it must be scalar multiple of b. So hence after writing scalar multiple, we have taken the norm of b is 1, we know that, and hence after writing the modulus, just after removing the modulus, we can write it is either positive or negative. So if we just consider the positive part, we get the formula for b is q upon norm of q. Okay, so here from q upon norm of q. What must be, this will be a unit vector. Now what we have got, b is equals to q upon norm of q. So this will be simply a unit vector, right? So what will be b dash? Obviously, if you are going to differentiate with respect to s, b dash will be equal to 0 as it is a unit vector. Okay. So hence what will be b dash is equals to minus tau into n. This is a formula we have obtained. If b dash is 0, what must be tau? Tau should be always equals to 0. Hence we have proved that if beta is a plane curve, torsion tau should be equal to 0. Okay. What we have obtained, b is equal to q upon norm of q. So this will be a simply unit vector. If it is a unit vector, what will be value of b dash? It will be equal to 0. 1, 1, 1, no? So derivative of 1 will be 0. So what is a b dash? If it is 0, what will be torsion? It will be equal to 0. This is a formula we have obtained while deriving the formula for a Raynaud apparatus. Okay. So let us go for the converse part. What is assumption in the converse part? We will assume that tau is equal to 0. That means we will assume torsion tau is equals to 0. Torsion tau is equal to 0 means what? Minus tau into n is equals to also 0. If this is also equal to 0, which means that b dash will be equal to 0. If b dash is equal to 0, it means that b is equal to constant. If b is equals to constant, that means that it is some fixed vector. Now what we have to prove, that beta is a plane curve which passes through beta of 0 and is orthogonal to b. Okay. We obtain b is equals to constant. Okay, let us, what we have to prove now, beta is a plane curve which passes through beta 0 and it is perpendicular to b. Okay. If you remember this figure we have obtained, this is a plane curve here. This is a curve which is lying in the plane beta. So this is some point P and this is a normal. So this is a binormal, and here at every point we can find out tangent, normal and binormal. So what we have to obtain in the second part, we have to show that beta is a plane curve which passes through beta of 0 and it is perpendicular to the vector B. Okay. So to show this, we will construct our function f in such a way that f of s is equals to beta of s minus beta of 0 into b. So we will construct our function in such a way that so that we can reach to our result. So here if you see, here we have beta of s is a curve passing through beta of 0 and into b. So if this product we are going to show it is equal to 0, hence our result will hold. Okay. So let us differentiate this with respect to s. So what we get, f dash of s is equals to beta dash of s, as beta of 0 means what? It value of beta we have calculated at 0, it will be constant term. Derivative of constant is 0. So into b plus next beta dash into beta of s minus beta of 0. Right. So this is t into b plus beta dash into beta of s minus beta of 0. So we know about t into b, they are orthogonal vectors. So what will be the product of t into b? It will be 0. So what I get, beta dash here into beta of s minus beta of 0. But we know that what is the value of beta dash? Let us take the derivative. F dash of s is equals to, will be beta dash of s into b as it is plus b dash into beta of s minus beta of 0. But we know that what we have assumption tau is 0. It means that b dash is equals to minus tau into m. So it means that if tau is 0, obviously b dash will be also 0. If b dash is 0, what I get the equation? F dash of s is equals to b into beta dash. What is the formula for beta dash? It is t. Correct? So what is t into b? It is a 0. So what I obtain, f dash of s is equals to 0. So if f dash of s is equal to 0, what is the meaning of f of s? It must be a constant function. Okay. So what we have obtained, f of s is a constant function. Okay. If f of s is a constant function, what is the value if I put s is equal to 0? What is the f of s? Let me write down once again. It will be beta of s minus beta of 0 into b. Okay. So what will be f of 0? It will be beta of 0 minus beta of 0. Putting s equal to 0 in this equation, we get value of f of 0 is equal to 0. Right. What we have obtained just now, f of s is a constant for all value of s. If for all value of s, if f of s is constant, I can say here out of all those all values of s, I have s equal to 0 also. So if for all value of s we are getting f of s is constant, so I can substitute s is equal to 0. So if I put s is equal to 0 here, what I get, f of 0 is equal to constant. But what is the value of f of 0? So we have get constant is 0. Okay. I hope you have understood this. F of 0 is 0. We have obtained from our given equation, from your assumption equation, and we have obtained f of s is constant from derivation. If for all s, if it is constant, I can put s equal to 0. For s equal to 0, we have already obtained f of 0 is 0. So hence we get value of constant is 0. Okay. So hence we can now write beta of s minus beta of 0 into b is equal to 0, because we have obtained value of f of s is 0. That means your f of s is always 0. So if this equation proves, it means that this is a curve passing through, beta is a curve which is passing through beta of 0 and it is perpendicular to b. Hence we can say this equation, this curve will satisfy the equation of a plane, and hence beta is a plane. Okay, thank you.